Sardegna. It looks like a postcard. The turquoise water, white quartz sand, and cliffs that seem untouched. But the reality is just different. Trash, trash, and more trash. In 2024, I was lucky enough to spend 2 weeks volunteering with Legambiente, Italy's largest environmental organization on the Sinis Peninsula. I wanted to look back on this experience and analyze the effectiveness of our work. I wanted to properly understand the impact that our efforts actually had, both environmentally and culturally. Legambiente runs conservation programs all across Italy and the rest of Europe, including volunteer beach cleanups like this one. During our 2 weeks, me and a team of 9 other volunteers worked daily on removing litter and enforcing the local rules of the environment. The organization's approach is straightforward: reduce the visible impact of trash, prevent further pollution, and educate visitors on proper waste disposal. They also collaborate with long-term communities to foster long-term stewardship. Every day, me and my peers collected hundreds and hundreds of cigarette butts, bottles, and plastic fragments. On the surface, these efforts appear impactful, but the question still remains: does this actually do anything? Despite all the cleanups, overall the quantity of trash on the beaches has only increased. Over the course of this camp, tourists continue to generate waste faster than we could remove it. A beach could look pristine in the morning, and by nightfall, it looks just as littered as it was when we started. This shows the limitations of Legambiente and other volunteer cleanups. They mitigate the symptoms rather than address what the root cause really is, which is high tourist volume and lack of widespread public awareness about the responsibility that we all hold to protect this environment. Our data from the camp shows that even collecting 1,500 cigarette butts and dozens of plastic bottles in 2 weeks barely scratches the surface of the ongoing pollution problem in Sardegna. While the direct environmental impact was limited, the program's real strength lies in cultural influence. Tourists who engage with us often adjusted their behaviors, learning to dispose of the waste more responsibly. Local residents benefited too. Seeing consistent cleanup efforts reinforced the idea that the beaches were a shared responsibility. Over time, this contributes to a culture of environmental stewardship which can have more lasting effects than litter removal alone. In other words, Legambiente's work functions as both direct intervention and education, aiming to instill habits that persist beyond the volunteer's presence. The goal isn't to just pick up litter, it's to forge and mold minds to see how we can all create a cleaner world. After reflecting on my experience, I came to a few conclusions. Volunteer cleanups are necessary but insufficient. They provide some immediate relief, but do not solve the underlying problem of excessive waste. Cultural and educational impact is very significant. Changing how tourists and locals interact with the environment can reduce future pollution a lot more effectively than just cleanup alone. Long-term solutions require systematic change. Infrastructure for waste disposal, stronger regulations on single-use plastics, and continuous environmental education are critical for maintaining a clean environment. Ultimately, the work Legambiente does in Sardegna highlights an important truth. Protecting paradise is as much about shaping human behavior as it is about removing litter. Even if the beaches are never completely free of trash, every volunteer, every conversation, and every bit of education contributes to a broader environmental culture that can endure. Paradise isn't protected by its beauty, it's protected by people. The volunteers, the locals, the tourists who learn to care, and organizations like Legambiente working year after year to make a difference. And hopefully someday, return the Sardinian coastline to the paradise it once was.